This is Newsroom. Good morning to you. I'm Eben Jansen. It's nice to be back with you after a week away at election 2014. We're still broadcasting live from Johannesburg here in South Africa. For the next hour, we bring you updates from around the continent as well as the world. Also today, we look, of course, at the Oscar Pistorius trial. There's Srindavani that gets his day in court in the Cape. And also we look at relations between China and Kenya, with a key visit taking place in that country this week. First, though, let's take a look at the news headlines. Srindavani is due in court in Cape Town today on charges of ordering his wife's murder during their 2010 honeymoon in Cape Town. The 34-year-old has been remanded in custody at Valkenburg Psychiatric Hospital since he arrived in South Africa last month. The British businessman will appear in the Western Cape High Court for a pre-trial hearing. The Oscar Pistorius murder trial resumes in the High Court in Pretoria, with State Prosecutor Gerrie Nel continuing his cross-examination of ballistics expert Thomas Wolmarans. Wolmarans was called to testify in defence of the Paralympian. He's claimed it was hard to determine the sequence of shots fired by Pistorius. However, during cross-examination, Gerrie Nel managed to raise doubts about the former policeman's testimony. And international efforts have widened to trace the Nigerian schoolgirls kidnapped by Boko Haram, with Israel now offering assistance. Prayers and vigils were held in many cities around the world to show support for the girls. The cross-examination of ballistics expert Thomas Wolmarans is due to continue in the Oscar Pistorius murder trial today. The case is being heard in the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria. Wolmarans was called in to testify in defence of the Paralympian, who is charged with murdering his girlfriend, former model Reva Steenkamp. Pistorius shot and killed her through the locked door of his toilet in his Pretoria home on February 14 last year. Now, for the latest, let's cross to Griselda Lewis, who's outside the North Gauteng High Court, as always. Good morning, Griselda. Nice to have you outside the court after a week away.
Thank you very much, Evan. Good morning.
Griselda, Mr. Wolmarans is on the stand today. Just quickly recap for us the sort of holes in the testimony, as it were, and then also what's expected today.
Well, Eben, Tom Wolmarans was considered as one of the best in this business, and listening to the various analysts speak about how he would give testimony. I mean, Tom Wolmarans has extensive experience in this industry, and really the showing that he gave on the stand after he was cross-examined by Gerrie Nel really brought a lot into question. First of all, starting with the reports that Gerrie Nel had asked for relating to the investigations that he'd done, the findings that he'd done following his investigations. And it emerged in court that he'd only completed that final report which he gave to the defence team only 3 weeks ago. And this is 2 months into the Oscar Pistorius murder trial. So one would really ask questions about whether Tom Wolmarans was ready for this, whether the defence team was also ready to present its case by bringing Wolmarans onto the stand. It also emerged during the cross-examination that he had a drink or taken Roger Dixon, the forensic geologist, for a drink. Before, you would know that Roger Dixon did testify before Wolmarans. So the insinuation by the state is that Wolmarans had changed or tailored his evidence to suit the defence of Oscar Pistorius. So really questions relating to the state of readiness of the defence in this regard. And then also we saw Wolmarans contradicting the very man who he's supposed to be defending, Oscar Pistorius, in that he says that by mere virtue of the fact that there was blood on the legs of the magazine rack indicates that Reva Steenkamp's body was next to the magazine rack. But Oscar Pistorius has always maintained that there was no magazine rack there. It had been towards the far right. So really another blow for Oscar Pistorius in that regard. So we're waiting to see what will happen again in cross-examination this morning. We were expecting Gerrie Nel to continue to poke holes in Tom Wolmarans's testimony.
Griselda, how long do we expect things to still continue this week before matters are wrapped up, do you think?
Well, certainly all indications at this stage, Eben, are that the case might come to an end tomorrow. Well, the defence had indicated that at least by Tuesday they should have called their last witness. So we're expecting that to happen, if not tomorrow, even perhaps the latest on Friday. But certainly this week the defence has indicated that it will wrap up its case, and we'll see who are the last witnesses to be called to the stand as the defence wraps up.
Griselda, thank you very much this morning. Griselda Lewis keeping us updated for what's happening at the Oscar Pistorius murder trial. Of course, Griselda, the trial goes live on this very channel in about 25 minutes' time. Just after past, we'll try and cross lines straight into it as we go into what looks like the last couple of days of this trial. And just to recap quickly, the cross-examination of ballistic expert Thomas Wolmerans is due to continue in the Oscar Pistorius murder trial today. The case is being heard in the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria. Wolmerans was called in to testify in defence of the Paralympian, who is charged with murdering his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp. Pistorius shot and killed her through the locked door of his toilet in his Pretoria home on Valentine's Day last year. He has denied guilt, saying he thought she was an intruder about to open the door and attack him. Last week, Wolmerans said he did not believe Steenkamp was covering her head with her left hand when she was shot. Wolmerans was disputing evidence of police ballistic expert and state witness Captain Chris Mangana. The trial continues.
No, I think it already said thank you very much. But luckily, because it is not Oscar. Max, where am I going to park the car?
Leave it there. Just go put your SABC sticker.
Or should we leave it there?
Yes. You can still see it from here. If you are
Mr. Volmerans, you're still under oath?
That's correct, my lady.
Thank you very much.
Morning, my lady.
Good morning, sir. Yes, Mr. Nair?
As a good pleasure, my lady. Mr. Volmerans, we won't be long, but there are one or two things that we have to deal with. Firstly, I confirm that you've made your photographs of the visit to the scene of 8 November available to the State of
That
France.
is correct, my lady.
And in viewing all your photographs, it became evident that you were there and that there were also members of the defense team at the scene on that day.
I think I said that Roxanne Adams as well as Mr. Rowan Kruger were present.
Yeah, no, you're right. Now, apart from the photographs that you made available, you don't have any other written report that explained what happened on that particular day.
My lady, I may have as I said, a note. I may have a note, but maybe we misunderstood it as the other day. I thought you said a file with a lot of written reports in. I've got a little file where I've made handwritten notes in. I have got a file like that.
Okay. But there wasn't was there a proper report drawn up after this visit to the scene on the 8th of November about your conclusions and so on?
My lady, as I said, my whole report was an ongoing report. It's a report that was ongoing all the time as I was working. I add to my report and add to my report, and the most of the time I gave verbal confirmation to the team, to the legal team. But there was notes that I gave to the legal team at certain stages when they asked me to give them a note on certain aspects. And I can't remember whether there was specifically one on that day. And
now, can I ask you that after this visit, now before we get to after the visit, when you visited the scene, you were in possession of the reconstruction report by Captain Mangena. You said so on Friday.
I'm sure I had one already.
You have not consulted with the accused about what happened on the 14th of February?
No, my lady.
When you were there on the 8th of November, did anybody give you a version of the accused of what happened on the 14th of November?
Not that I can remember. I'm sorry, my lady. The only version I had is I read through. I was not in court all the time at the bail application because I was given certain instructions to, for instance, to get hold of a person who can do certain things, and this is where I got hold of Mr. Dixon. And I was not in court at all the times, but I was given the bail application, and I read through that.
Okay. Now, on the scene, in your reconstruction of the scene, the position of the accused, how did you know where the accused was standing when he fired the shots?
As I said in my report, it's all conducted according to Captain Mangena's reconstruction of the crime scene.
Good.
The scene.
That's fine. Before we go into your whole report, I'm going to ask you one or two questions, and if I'm happy, we won't go into all your photographs. Do you agree with me that on where the accused was standing on Captain Mangena's report, where Captain Mangena placed the laser, the accused was standing there, according to him?
My lady, I just remember, I think in sorry, but I think in the bail application, there was mentioned where the accused made mention where he was approximately standing. And then I also made use of Captain Mangena's report.
Okay, I'm going to assist you, and I just think it's because you forgot, but the accused never in his bail application indicated where he was standing, though. He just said he wasn't standing 1.5 meters from the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't, I think...
in the main, you were happy that the accused was standing where Captain Mangena placed the laser?
At the reconstruction, I was happy that this is the vicinity where he was standing. Or let's rather say not standing, where the gun was at the stage when the shots was fired.
Okay. Now, also, having seen and having listened to Captain Mangena's evidence, you agree with him that the accused was on his stumps and that he was in the normal firing position, and that would indicate the angle and the trajectory of the bullet.
Especially hole number B.
Yes. And the normal firing position would be arm stretch out, gun in hand, and
As
fire.
I explained to you, my lady, where you've got sight alignment.
So as far as B is concerned, you're happy. Well, are you happy that all of them had sight alignment, or are you saying that B had sight alignment?
I say B had sight alignment, but I'm not sure of the rest.
It's possible that the rest also had.
It's possible, but I'm not sure.
Do you agree with me that we have it reconstructed again? That without moving the position of the laser, one will not be able to shine the laser through any of the other bullet holes and get to E, as it stands now.
I think I looked at my photos as well over the weekend, and none of them comes to. As a matter of fact, I think B on my reconstruction is a bit on a different position. But no, I agree.
You agree with what I'm saying?
Well, I agree.
Okay. Good. Then, as far as the splinters are concerned, I want to show you a photograph that was shown to photograph 122. I'll show it on the screen. It is Exhibit E, slide 122, my lady. Now, Captain, Mr. Vormerans, I'm going to ask Mr. Van Staden just to zoom in. And to show you up there, there where the marker is now.
There's a splinter there, my lady.
Yes. I think if you look closely, I think there's more than one splinter, but I'm happy that there's a splinter.
There's at least one splinter, yeah. I agree.
Okay. So that would indicate that...
It fell there.
Say again, sir?
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, say again what you wanted to say.
I said it fell there.
It fell there. So, and in all probability, caused by the shot.
It reached there, or it could have been from the blow of the cricket bat. One of the two. A splinter that reached there from a blow of the cricket bat, but my opinion is rather one from a shot that has been fired through the door.
Okay. So that would indicate that even at that distance, a splinter would travel all the way to the toilet.
Fall there with no energy left.
Well, one can't really say no energy left because it could have bounced from the wall, it could have done anything. Am I right? But what we know is it was
I can't disagree with you.
You don't disagree?
So I don't know how it came there, whether it bounced, but
No.
it came to that, fell in that distance.
No, I'm happy with that. Now then, as far as the experiment with the cricket bat and the gun is concerned, remember at the shooting range, that experiment, I just want to deal with one or two things as far as that's concerned. The first experiment you did on the 21st of March.
Can't remember the dates, but if you say that's 21st of March.
Yeah, that's fine. You can take it from me. And why did you repeat this? Or why did you do a second test?
My lady, I think I already gave my evidence to that effect to the court, that the firearm, the first firearm that I used was, in my view, with my experience, not friendly with that type of ammunition. And I couldn't fire it in rapid.
So, but you were able to fire shots on the 21st?
Yes, it's one at a time, and then I've got...
And sounds with the same background noise at least?
I don't know, my lady. I'm not a sound expert. I really don't know. I can't comment on that. I'm not a sound expert, so I don't know whether it would have any influence on it or not.
So then...
Not at all.